this wonderful story of Elijah in the cave. So great. He's petrified. He's freaked out. He's on the run. Winds up in the middle of nowhere in a cave, wondering what to do next. And so he is hoping that the word of the Lord will come to him if he listens carefully enough. And a whirlwind comes, and the word of the Lord is not in that. And there's an earthquake, and the word of the Lord is not in the earthquake. And a mighty wind, not there either. And then there's silence, just silence, sheer sound of silence. You ever think, okay, that's kind of a mysterious line in the scripture, isn't it? The sheer sound of silence. I thought, you think, oh, wait a minute, there's something wrong there. Silence has no sound. But I don't know about you. Have you ever been in a very quiet place in the wilderness? A very quiet place where there's no jets, no cars, no phones, no nada. And you tune in, and you're hearing stuff. You're still hearing stuff. It's the wind, or it's just the stuff in your head that you're hearing, right? We're always in a place to listen and to hear. Silence does have a sound. There is listening that can go on in that silence, and perhaps in a silent environment is the best place to listen, right? The best place to listen, because you're not distracted by other sounds. Which is why all the mystics of all the world's religions went out to the middle of nowhere for that very reason, so that they could be in silence, so that they could really listen. The Buddhist monks did it. The Muslims did it, the Sufis, and the Christian monks and nuns did the same. I love a line from Thomas Merton, the wonderful Trappist monk. And he said, God found the desert to be useful because humans found it useless. Right? The wilderness is useful for our access to the divine. It's a place to meet the divine because it's useless to humans. Jesus tells a great parable about seeds cast on different kinds of ground. Remember that? It's like you cast it here, it's stony, it doesn't do well. Cast it over here, too many weeds, doesn't do well. Cast it over here, it grows, it produces a wonderful harvest. And then Jesus closes this rendition of his parable by saying, he who has ears, let him hear. Or her, hear. Yeah? If you have ears to hear, let them hear. Isn't that what listening is kind of like? It's like people are around us are casting seeds. Are we fertile ground to receive those seeds? The art of listening is preparing the ground to receive the seed of what others share with us and what we share with ourselves in contemplatio. This happens all the time in my household. I'll be typing. I write a lot, in case you didn't know. My wife will come into the room and say something. Dear Roberto will ask me, like, okay, when you're done here, can you do that? And I go, yeah, okay. And then after I'm done, la, 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 Jim forgot all about it. I didn't do what I said I would do. So the words went in, the seeds went into the ground, or, they were cast onto the soil, but there was no receptivity, right? The ears worked. I copped to the fact that she asked me something. I responded, but no. The seed landed on stony ground, right? Preoccupation. Seeds are mysterious when you think about a seed. No matter how much you know about biology, and my knowledge is very limited, but I did learn about a thing called the apical meristem. So the apical meristem is the little dot in the middle of a seed out of which the plant grows. Or another form of it is the tip of a bud on a plant. This is from a tree out front here. The very tip, it's got a soft, round nub on it. The apical meristem, its stem cells are in there, right? And they're not cells that are programmed to do any particular thing. They can do anything. They can become any part of the plant or the tree, grow into any part, depending on how they're stimulated, about whether they're in the right environment, right? So the seed you plant in the ground, if it's not in the right environment, the apical meristem is not going to grow out into differentiated cells to make the parts of the plant. It's not going to happen. But the potential is there, the tip of the bud, or the tip of the root, or the nub of the apical meristem in the seed. It has potential to develop in an amazing way. So it is with what people have to say to us, right? If we are receptive, if we are fertile ground for what people share with us, then what they share with us can grow within us, but also by virtue of our listening and our feeding back and paying attention, grow in them as well. Sometimes by listening to other people begin to see, they realize what they're saying. And thinking. They didn't even know what they were thinking until they started telling you about it. You ever had that experience? You don't know what's up until you share it with somebody else. That's when you realize what you're thinking and feeling. Never forget, years ago, for years I was the camp director at Camp Cazadero United Church of Christ church camp in the summer. For a week in the summer, we'd have 7,500 high school kids. And, I love doing that. Every year, it was a high point of my year was being camp director. And when Roberta and I got together, the first thing I did, actually, before I even went on a date with her, I asked her to be camp nurse. She was the best camp nurse ever. She did preventive nursing. Manicures, pedicures, foot massage. She had little, honey tea cooking at all time, twinkly lights. Everybody was begging to go to the nurse's station. Camp was awesome. Camp Kaz. So one day, I'm sitting with this teenage girl, and she just starts talking to me, right? And I remember not really being in the mood to have a chat with her, really. Stuff was going on, but the girl wanted to talk. I go, okay. I just sort of took a deep breath and go, I will listen. And so I listened, and at first it was kind of boring. And the girl's saying, she's telling me all about this camping trip she took with her family. All these details about this camping trip. I'm going, okay, yeah, all right. Kind of in the same mode that I usually am when I'm typing and my wife comes in to tell me something, right? Sort of in that mode, Not really with it yet. But then some trigger, something she said. I go, wait, something else is going on here. There's something else up with this conversation. Then I started really paying attention to her and listening. But the details of this camping trip are going on and on and on. The story she's telling me. And then she starts to kind of reflect on what happened to her in this camping trip with her family. And she realized that she's a tomboy, right? Not interested in typical girly stuff. She reflected with me that she was learning that she was a gregarious person, finding it easy to get along with other people. And that during this camping trip, she kind of got aware that she wasn't competitive, that she loved to read novels. She liked to write short stories and poems. And then she revealed that she had no interest in becoming rich or famous or notorious, but just really wanted to grow up and have a family and go on wilderness camping trips with her family, like she had done on this trip with her family. I realized what she was doing was telling a story which then became an awakening and an embrace of who she was. She was learning who she was and embracing who she was, loving who she was. And what was my part in this whole thing? Nothing except listening. Nothing else. I mean, I could feedback, say more about that, all that kind of things. Yeah, I did that. But that's all I did. I didn't direct her. I didn't intervene in any way. I didn't ask a whole lot of leading questions. I just listened to the girl, and it was an amazing moment of watching a young person grow up in front of my face, right? Apical meristem, growing, because she had found fertile ground in which to plant what she had to say and learn about herself. I have a really cool job, that's all I gotta say, because I get paid to listen, and it is awesome. And it's a little weird job, kind of a weird job that way. When I was at University of Southern California, I used to say that my job was to listen students into life. You could go to my office there, the Office of Religious and Spiritual Life. You could walk in the door and say, I need to talk to somebody. And the front desk worker would my door was open. Student worker would usher the student into my office. And like as not, I would just be able to just turn away my computer screen and come on in, sit down, what's up, how you doing? Tell me about yourself. And they would, right? Just spill the beans over and over and over and over again with no agenda, right? I couldn't, this is the magic of my job at USC was, I couldn't, everywhere else you go on campus, you go to get something done for yourself, right? You need to fix your grades, or you need to deal with financial aid, or you need to deal with this, or you need to deal with that. You go to the health center for a health issue, your mental health center for a mental health issue, whatever. I couldn't fix anything for you. I was useless. Absolutely useless. And because I was useless, I had students walking in my door every day for 14 years straight. Because what they needed more than anything else was that well-tilled ground ready to receive the growth point, ready to receive, ready to listen. What a difference it made. And the whole time I'm sitting there going, I'm not doing a damn thing except paying attention, period. And it's like, what an amazing job to have, to just be useless. The more useless, the better, in a strange kind of way. And yet, transformation happened in front of my eyes. Growth. young people growing up and becoming fully human. And in my church ministry, exactly the same. People coming into a new level of life, resurrecting, if you will, in front of me, and all I do is sit there and receive it and listen. That's it. And that's what we do for each other here. This is a world of good listeners, a community of good listeners. I am a witness to that, and to the profound effect that you have on each other by being this fertile ground to receive what others have to say, and then have the privilege of watching them grow, right? Watching them bloom out of the apical meristem. So bloom on, it's spring, and a good time, if there ever was one, to listen. Amen.